We welcome you to another edition of Conversations. And in this edition, we get a chance to meet Trey Zuhn, who I was going to say left tackle for Texas A&M, but I have to add center for Texas A&M, so offensive lineman for the Aggies. How about that?
Yep, that's perfect. Yep.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But how does a guy from Colorado come to Texas A&M? But it's an interesting story, is it not?
Right, yep. So I grew up in Colorado, but I've always been an Aggie. So I'm a third-generation Aggie. So both my parents and my grandma went to A&M, and my grandfather was a professor here. So yeah, I've always been an Aggie since, as long as I can remember.
So the blood runs maroon, right?
It does, yep. Yes, sir.
How has it been, and what does A&M mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. So I grew up, every single Saturday during the season, my dad would have the A&M game on TV. So, yep, grew up watching them. Came to visit my grandma, grandpa over the years. And, yeah, we'd always they both lived here in College Station. So I was always around College Station. And it's just, there's no better place to be. So I grew up being an Aggie. So maybe I was brainwashed from a young age. But, I love it here. So
was it the dream to play on Kyle Field?
It was. It always was. Ever since I've been playing football, I've wanted to be an Aggie. So once I got the offer to come here, it was a no-brainer, really.
Shut it down.
Yep, shut everything else down.
So what's it like running out to Kyle Field?
It never gets old. It's the same as the first time I did run out there. So I always get the goosebumps, running out there to 100 and whatever thousand Aggies out there, and they love us so much and we love them. So there's really no greater feeling. It never gets old.
You know it's going to be filled going in, right?
Oh, yeah.
But are you still taken aback that everybody's there waiting for you when you all run out?
It is kind of crazy. I feel like at this point, I kind of expect it. I know that the stands are going to be loud, filled. I know it's going to be loud. It seems like I should be ready, but still every time running out there, I just kind of get hit by it. I'm like, whew. Wow.
And you can practice running out of the tunnel. You can't replicate that feeling, can you?
Yeah, it's crazy, and I love it. Yeah.
That's awesome. You had a decision. You didn't have to come back. What went into your decision to come back for one more year?
Right, yeah, I had a bunch of conversations with Coach Cushing, Coach Elko, my parents, my family. I prayed about it, and I just realized I had unfinished business here. We had unfinished business here, and there's no greater place to be. I love being an Aggie. I love playing for A&M. Love playing in Kyle Field. That Texas game left a bad taste in my mouth. Didn't want that to be my last game here, so I knew I had to come back.
I know it's 2025, and I know we're in an NIL world. But as you talk about Coach Cushing and you talk about Coach Elko and teammates, it's still about relationships, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. At the end of the day, you gotta go to work with these guys. You got to, put in the blood, sweat, and tears with these guys. So there's still a connection and there's still a team, even though, guys are getting paid, but it's still the same team. There's still the same bonds with each other.
Did it also make a difference when you heard that other players were coming back? And then, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the right guys and the right leaders came back. Did they not?
Right, yeah, I would 100% agree because – coming back, I knew that we already had the culture that we wanted. We got the culture thing out of the way in the first year. So coming back, we had the guys to go do what we wanted to do. So it was really a no-brainer. That just added to it.
So this entire offensive line comes back. Can you we talk about all the other rooms sometimes and leave out the offensive line room. But can you talk about that room? I know the running backs call it the stable, this and that, but how tight is that room?
It's guys, all veteran guys who have played a bunch of football, and everyone has, everybody's seen everything, everybody knows everything. It's just a group of veterans who are just wanting to perfect their craft. So
you always talk about pushing one another, right?
Right.
That competition on Monday through Friday makes Saturday easier. I know it's not easy to play in the SEC, right? Does it make it easier on Saturday?
100%, because the D-line our D-line that we go against every day in practice, our defense, and then having our 7 guys on the O-line that any of them could play in the SEC and do well in the SEC. So you got to stay on top of your game, and you got to get better every single day in practice, or else the guy right behind you is going to play. We're going to have the best 5 guys out there, so whoever that is, it keeps you getting better.
You said something earlier this week that I loved. We are choosing excellence, not success. What's the difference?
Right, yeah, because success, the goal is always to win the game. but sometimes you can win the game without playing your best football. So sometimes if, the offense doesn't start fast or, the defense does really well, but we need to play 4 quarters of the offense and defense playing our football. We can't be just eking by getting wins. We want to dominate and play our football.
And Coach Elko always talks about, look, you're going to be in it for 60 minutes.
Right.
Game's not going to be decided at halftime. It's 60 minutes. When you have that mentality and almost a blue-collar mentality, as well as the skill talent, please don't get me wrong,
Right.
but when you have that, that's an advantage on a Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Because, in the SEC, like you said, there's no easy games. It's going to be a 60-minute battle no matter who you're playing in the SEC. So, attacking every game knowing that for 60 minutes we're going to impose our will on the other team and play our football.
You get Cassius, Rylan, TJ, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, do you ever feel a little bit sorry for the left tackles on the other team?
I definitely do because I know what they put me through in practice. So I know, I honestly do feel bad for them sometimes because, I know when they pin their ears back in a game that they have no mercy for sure.
I know a lot of people think it's just a cliche, but iron really does sharpen iron, doesn't it?
100%. Yes, sir.
What is the responsibilities for left tackle? And then you're playing center, and you were talking about how there's obviously you have a feel for it, and if you could get more reps. But if you can kind of run people through the roles and responsibilities of you as a left tackle, and then do they change, and what do you focus on then as center?
Right, yeah. So the center is, people call it the quarterback of the O-line because you have to make the calls for every single person. It's your job to make sure everyone's on the same page and doing their assignment. If someone's doing the wrong thing, it's your fault as well. So, you got to get everyone on the same page. And when I was only playing left tackle, I would study the playbook and study the defense like I was a center, just wanting to learn and just know as much as I possibly could about the game. So then once I transitioned to start playing some center, it really wasn't too bad. It was just snapping the ball, really.
Well, you have to, so you coordinate everything. You have to have rapport, for lack of a better word, with Marcel or anybody, with the quarterback as well. Do you not?
Right, yeah, 100% you do.
And Coach Elko was just talking about this earlier today before we tape this. You can have the greatest quarterback, running backs, wide receivers. If the line can't keep the quarterback upright, it doesn't matter, does it?
Right, yeah. People say it starts with the O-line, and it really does. I don't want to, take too much credit, but without an O-line, it makes everyone else's job really hard. So.
Yeah, it's to me, and it's why someone was asking me, and I said, there's a reason why quarterbacks and running backs get their offensive linemen Rolexes in the NFL, right?
Right.
They absolutely appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And I think it was, it might have been, talking with maybe Jimbo, before, but Mike will bring it up too. Like 4 of the 5 doing their job isn't going to get it done.
Right, yeah.
And that's the pride that you all take, correct?
Right, yeah, because it's a unit. It's not an individual position on the O-line. It's not just one guy. It's the 5 of us as a whole. We either succeed or fail together.
Do the tight ends then become a 6th offensive lineman?
I'll say that, yeah.
That was kind.
Yeah, the tight ends, they do a great job. I love seeing them block someone. It's the best best seeing them when they just run someone off the line of scrimmage and just dominate someone. But yeah, they do a great job. They block people and we can trust them. So I love having them around. We'll let them catch a couple balls every once in a while. Yeah, do their thing.
It's a position that is changing, right? It's almost tight ends are hybrids. Lineman, tight end, wide receiver. Are they not? They've really made themselves versatile.
Right, yeah, they have to do it all. So, I tip my hat to them for that, for sure.
I love watching, and whether it's a single tight end, whether it's 2 tight ends, but you get Nate next to you, or Amari on your left hip, or Theo on that left hip, and it's like, you guys are about to do some damage now, right? Just run behind us. We've got this.
Yes, sir, right.
Same thing like if Armaji starts pulling.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's a defender in for a whole lot of trouble.
I feel bad for them, yep.
It was a little bit like watching earlier in camp, and it was on the punt team, and it was the up snap to Albert Regis, and I'm like, this defender's about to make a business decision. Do we get in Albert's way?
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to be in his way for sure.
Are there any influences to your game? I'm going to say just on football. Was there someone who was or some people who were big influences for you?
Yeah, definitely my dad, from a young age, he was a coach for me, like all the way through Pee Wee football and all that. So he definitely helped get me into football and, my love for football, but also Matt McChesney in Denver. I would go work with him
Really?
during high school. Yeah, like 3 times a week, drive down to Denver. And he's really the main reason that I got recruited because my high school football was not the best, So yeah, going down there, that's the only reason I got any exposure, and he really taught me how to play O-line. So
When did you know you were good?
that's actually funny because sometimes I still catch myself like I'm never satisfied. I'm really hard on myself watching the film, so I'm kind of a perfectionist. I'm never really happy with, in practice I could have an almost perfect day and have one mistake and I'm upset with myself. So I never really get the feeling that I'm good enough or I've made it. So
With that, it can either drive you off a cliff, right? Or it can drive you. You use it as a drive, don't you?
100%, yeah. So I use it as a drive, but also I know how to put the last play behind me and play the next play. It's just after the fact that I go through and critique myself.
Is there also a part of you never want to disappoint a teammate?
100%. The guys that you go through fall camp with, all these workouts with, you don't want to fail for them. You want to do your job for them.
How much fun has it been to watch Marcel grow as a quarterback?
It's been amazing seeing him kind of grow into the leader, into his confidence to be able to make plays. It's just cool to watch him. He just has that confidence to make the plays that he knows he can make.
Is that part of having it? I always say that, like, I don't know if I can define it, but when a player has it, is that one of the characteristics?
I kind of know what you mean. Yeah, just having that, like, just knowing you can do it almost. Yeah. Just like having, that confidence. It's just, and he has it for sure.
It's a young man who came in and was fourth string quarterback and worked his way to, obviously he had to play in the Texas Bowl. Mm-hmm. Then last year, I think a lot of people were surprised that he was the backup, right? He's always working, isn't he? And you have to have the leadership quality, don't you?
Right, yeah, because you're commanding the entire offense, and everyone needs to be able to trust you at quarterback to do your job because you have a piece in all of the units, in the wide receiver room, and the tight ends, the running backs, and the O-line. He has a part in all of that. So
it was some years ago, and I have a feeling it's similar. The Maroon Goons of the past always said, look, we not only don't want Kellen Mond to get sacked, we don't want Kellen to get hit. You all have that same mentality with Marcel, don't you?
Right, yeah. We want to protect him. We want to do everything we can. Just, we'll protect anyone who's behind us, but, Marcel, we love him. He's a great guy, so we want to protect him.
Not a lot of sacks. This team does not have a lot of negative plays. Like, I think that's so special about Le'Veon Moss. I think he's been tackled for loss once, maybe 3 times in the last 2 years. That's special because, even 2nd and 7 is way different from 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11, isn't
100%,
it? Is that also a point of pride for this offensive line?
Yeah, 100%. That we need to do our job to be able to keep ourselves in positions to keep making plays. We can't put ourselves behind the sticks and put us in a bad situation. We need to minimize damage and make sure that we're doing our job.
When you see Le'Veon, the yards after contact, or Ruben, or now there's Jamarian and Amari and EJ, when that running game is going, and you guys are a huge part of it, do you just keep feeding all that and keep imposing your will? And how much do you like that feeling?
It's the best feeling, being able to just roll over people, just running the ball. It's just, like you said, it kind of builds on itself, just keeps feeding us that we want to run the ball even more and just keep running it. Until
the end of the game when it's victory formation. That's also a great feeling,
right?
Isn't
Definitely.
it?
Yep.
You said something earlier, and it's funny because people are like, well, Trey said that there were 7 offensive linemen. There's only 5 on that. But this group is not only talented, it's deep as well. And when you can share snap, like Deuce is back, right?
Right.
And we've seen him mostly in the past couple of years at right tackle, but we've seen him at left. So you go to center, there he is at left tackle. There's no drop off, is there? No matter who's on that line.
Right. Yeah. That's what I say about the 7 linemen is that any 7 of the 5 can play. And, we can move people around, and whoever's having the best day, whoever shows up the most prepared is going to be on the field. So if someone has a critical error, you can put someone else in real quick, and there's no drop off, like you said.
How about these young guys who are learning? I mean, huge, obviously. And in the first couple of weeks, they're able to get some valuable game time snaps, game speed, stuff like that. But how good can they be in their A&M careers?
I think the sky's the limit. You know, I hope they learn as much as they can from us. We take them under our wing and we just show them the ropes, you know, show them how to be an offensive lineman in the SEC and show them what the standard looks like. So I hope they take that and run with it and become better than us.
That standard is set by you all, correct?
Yes, sir.
It could be one thing for a team, but the O-line has its own, right?
Right.
Was there someone like that for you when you were the young offensive lineman?
Yeah, I remember Kenyon Green. I was his I was his workout partner. We worked out on the same rack my freshman year, and I remember just killing myself trying to keep up with him. He would have some crazy weight on the bar, and it would like be 60-70%, and for me that's 80-90%. So I'm just killing myself trying to do the same weight as him, and I know that it sucked in the moment, but it definitely made me who I am today.
That's a strong young man.
Gosh. Yes, sir.
And that versatility that he had.
Right.
And that helped him now next level, right? Because the NFL, I don't know if folks understand this, but there's only so many offensive linemen you can carry. So to have that versatility, he almost takes two roles, and that really helps him next level, doesn't it?
Right. It makes you so much more valuable being able to play 2 or even 3 positions, you know, just having that flexibility, just makes you that much more valuable.
I'm going to take you back to August and not camp, I promise. Not camp.
All right.
The maroon and white softball game.
Oh, goodness.
You're the third base coach.
Yep.
With that team, there was no stop sign at third, was there?
Oh,
you
no.
just sent everybody home.
Never. Yeah. I told people before, I was going to send as many people as possible home. I don't really know anything about baseball. I don't know why they let me coach third base. But yeah, I was just going to send everybody home. I was going to score.
My only fear was Coach Elko was going to come in the next day going, Trey Tour's rotator from sending.
Swing him on. I was getting into it a little bit there, yeah.
Then Jacob Graham, one swing of the bat. Marcel almost caught that.
I thought he had it, but
it was a lot closer. And then when I saw him throw his glove, like he was mad. Like he should, in his mind, I'm going to get that.
Right, yeah, just a competitor like that. He wanted to win.
How much fun is that one? Let's start with the team to be able to do something like that, because that was almost a reward, if you will, for the end of what you did all summer, correct?
Right, yeah. It was just a cool thing to be able to be around each other and not be in a football setting, because you can just be around each other just as guys, you know, just as friends. So it was cool to have something like that.
And then how much fun, because you understand what all the student athletes go through on this campus, to do that with the softball team.
Right, yeah, that was definitely a very cool thing to do.
I know they had a blast, but then it became, the pitchers came in like, sorry. And you all threw whoever you could. It was Tyler White who played baseball. You guys were trying all these.
Yeah, get him in there whoever we could.
But you really do appreciate what all the other student athletes are going through on campus, don't you?
100%. Yeah, you know what they're going through because you've been through it yourself. So you know how hard it is, and you just have a respect for each other.
Is that part of the beauty of this Sin building, is you get to be together with all of them?
Yeah, because everyone kind of is on their own for practice and stuff, but then we all get to kind of come together and have that time to just reflect and just see each other and know, like, hey, they're going through the same thing. We're in this together.
The thought is always, student athletes, it's 2 full-time jobs, academics and athletics. How did you have any trouble time management early, and how have you managed your time?
I never really had too much of a problem with it, no, because at the end of the day, it's just what you put your time into, because what you care about is what you'll do with your time. So football and school, I just focused on that, and sometimes you have to say no to some of the other fun parts of college that people like to do, but it's what you signed up for. So
looking out the window, looking at everybody, going, I have to study, all right?
Right, yeah, studying or watching film, and you see people having fun, you're like, oh well, yeah.
But it does get right when you realize what the priorities are, right? Does that help make it easier?
Definitely, yeah. And then when you're running on a Kyle Field in front of 100,000 Aggies, it makes it all worth it.
That's right. As a team, if you would walk us through, you all shared the 4 H's. Would you mind sharing some of your 4 H's?
Yeah, so yeah, the 4 H's, it's history, heroes, heartbreaks, and then hopes. So, we had a bunch of guys go up there and just to kind of help learn with all the new transfers we had and just connect with each other, become a better team. So, yeah, some of mine is, my history from Colorado, like you said. High school football, not the greatest in Colorado. So having to go to Matt McChesney and train with him to be able to be noticed. I ended up tearing my ACL before my senior year of high school, so I didn't get to play my senior season, which stunk, but I think it made me who I am today, just learning how to work through that, grind through that.
Did you understand that at the time?
I did not. It was not until after the fact, looking back.
Right.
At the time, yeah, it was definitely hard thinking, will I ever be the same player I was? All those thoughts, but so yeah, I got through that, and then been here ever since and love that. Some of my heroes, definitely my parents. They pushed me. My sister, my older sister, she played volleyball at Nebraska. Oh. So yeah, she's 2 years older, and she kind of paved the way for me.
Yeah.
I tried to get her to come here, but we'll save that for another time.
So you took her AD. We got Trev here instead.
Right. Yep. So yeah, so she kind of paved the way for me, showed me what it meant to be a college athlete and how to do that. She ended up having to medically retire, so she didn't get to achieve all of her goals at that level. So that kind of pushes me. That's an extra thing that pushes me every day, that I'm not going to take a single even practice workout for granted, that you never know when it could be over. So she's definitely one of my heroes. And then get into my heartbreaks, probably my ACL, and then losing my grandfather, the one who taught here.
Yeah,
that was hard for me and the family. And then hopes, just that everyone on the team realizes what we have, and that I hope that we make the most of it and we don't squander the opportunity we have this season.
When the season began, as just, I'm going to follow up with what you said, there seemed to be this confidence with this team. I don't think it was outward. I think it was inward, knowing that you've got special teammates. Is that fair to say?
Definitely, yeah. We've got probably the best guys in that, and we could do what we want to do. We can go as far as we want. It just comes down to us and how hard we work. So having that confidence in ourselves, like you said, it was inward. We don't need to broadcast to the world who we are. We just need to know we need to take care of business on Saturday.
By the way, that's the greatest jersey I've seen. That one's fantastic. Does the number 60 signify anything?
Yeah, so Matt McChesney in Denver, he was number 60. So kind of as a
That's cool.
tribute to him, I took the number.
Every time he looks at you, he sees that. That is great. You were talking with this team and being special. Coach Elko helps set the tone, and we talk about culture or standard. But players really uphold that culture. They uphold that standard then, right? It can't be top down. It's got to be from within, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah. You said it perfectly. Yeah, it has to come from the players. The coaches can only do so much. They can really only handle, schematically and, offense, defense, running the plays, but it has to come from the players, kind of taking pride in ourselves to do what we want to do and do it right.
And then back to what you were saying about the younger players, that will then be all they know, right?
Right.
So it just keeps on. I've always said this about legacies for players. To me, it's a ripple in a pond. It's not when Trey Zuhn ends his career at A&M. It's whoever you've influenced and whoever that next player influences, right? That's right. Where the legacy, I'm not sure it ever ends if you have the right culture and the right standards.
Right, yeah. Like I said earlier, coming from Kenyon Green, it started from him teaching me, and then, I hope that I pass on, and it's my job to pass on what I know and the standard to the guys below me, so that A&M in years to come is just as great or better.
Can we talk about Demetrius Crownover? When he first came to A&M, he was not listed as a lineman. He was listed as an athlete, a 6'8" athlete. And that's exactly what he is, isn't it?
Right, yeah. I think it was always in the cards for him to become an O-lineman, though. Being that size, you belong on the O-line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, and maybe you've talked with him or maybe you've experienced it. Does him having that experience at D-line when he first came here, did that help him as an offensive lineman, do you think?
I think when he first got here, he was at tight end.
That's
actually.
right.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was one of those special guys.
So yeah, he was. Yeah.
That's right.
He
Because
was-
that was another big target.
Right.
there.
Yeah. So he had his fun, doing his thing, catching balls every once in a while. But he came to his senses and joined the O-line.
And I'm waiting for him to be tackle eligible. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right. Yeah. That might be in the future. We'll see.
He's not giving away any
Yeah.
secrets. What does it mean to you to be named a captain?
It really just means everything, because spending all this time with the team, with my teammates, putting in this much work with them year round, being recognized by them as a leader, it's really just the coolest feeling in the world, and I'm honored by it, and I hope that I can live up to that honor as much as I can.
There's that standard as well for that, is it
Right.
not?
Right? Yeah.
This season we honor when we play Florida, the 75 team, or whether it's the electric atmospheres in the blackouts and the black uniforms. Are you looking forward to, after your NFL career, coming back and when they honor, let's hope that this team is something special and they honor this 2025 squad?
Yeah, I hope so. We just got to handle business, every single Saturday, take it 1 week at a time. And then, yeah, hopefully years down the road, we'll be able to come back and relive these moments,
The phrase is, the days are long, but the years are short. Is that hitting you, Hope?
Definitely, yeah. Being in my final year here, it feels like just yesterday I was arriving on campus for the first time. It's just crazy to look back at the years because, and during fall camp, you feel like, oh man, this is forever. This is hard. But then all of a sudden 5 years go by, and it's just crazy.
I think about this, and I've said this with other athletes. I'm fairly certain that next year I will say left tackle Trey Zuhn. I apologize to whoever the left tackle is next year. It has been so ingrained in watching that excellence at left tackle. So I'm going to apologize before, okay? And if you're listening going, yeah, Andrew said he was going to do that. It's just become so. But you've set a standard as well for there, haven't
Well, I
you?
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I try.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Of course,
This
yeah.
was outstanding. And as always, wish you the best with this year and then whatever's next, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
You bet.